prophesied, against Babylon the Great, which is America, to basically just speak the truth, of the Holy Bible, okay? To teach it the right way, unlike, wacky-tacky Christianity, we're going to break down the scriptures correctly, okay? Right. There's a lot of, different philosophies, and belief systems, and even other Israelite camps that are not teaching, about prophecy. So that's what we came out here to do. And before we get started, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Makagadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and Shalom. And yeah, like I said, man, we're just going to be going into prophecy, Lowland, the Spirit leads us. But you could go ahead and get started at the top of that.
It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Right, the Most High God, which his true name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh. All right, Bahasham, and the name Yahweh Shai, his only begotten son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who really is a so-called black man with white woolly hair. All right, and he told us, he commanded us, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And how do you do that? What does that mean? Okay, basically it's going into measuring current events with the scriptures, measuring different things going on in the world, using the Bible as a measurement tool. Matter of fact, get Revelation 11. Yep, start at the top.
That's the spirit.
Because the Bible is spiritually likened onto a ruler, or a measuring tool, or a plumb line, different construction, tools, if you will. But that's how you measure the time diligent. You got it.
Revelations 11 and verse 1. And there was given me a rod like unto a reed, and the angel stood saying, rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
Right. Read that part again.
Revelations 11 and 1. And there was given me a rod like a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
Right, so he said he gave him a reed like unto a rod, and the angel told him to measure the temple. All right, now first and foremost, that rod is going into the Holy Bible, right? The scriptures, like I mentioned. All right, the comforter. All right, and you got that.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 23 and verse 4. It says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
This is the valley of the shadow of death. All right, wacky-tacky Christians, they read that as if it's a feel-good, motivational scripture, but the valley of the shadow of death, that's an actual location. All right, and it's America. All right, Babylon the Great. Okay, we're in it right now. That's not just when you're going through bad times. No, that's an actual location. Even Job even mentioned it. He mentioned the place of the land of darkness that says death and the shadow of death. He mentioned it. Was showing you Job was a prophet as well too. But read that again.
Yeah, if I can say, man, you can tell by the way how we started at camp. All this noise, all this confusion, all these sirens, police sirens, ambulance sirens. This is the valley of the shadow of death, man.
Yep.
Just to back up that Job point,
Yep.
Job 10 and 21. Before I go whence I shall not return, which we came over here, and we're not returning to our homeland till the Lord takes us out.
Right.
It says, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness.
So that shows you the valley of the shadow of death is an actual land, it's an actual location. All right, it's a country, America. Okay, and why is it a land of darkness? This is a place where they turn something as beautiful as a rainbow into something twisted, into something wicked. A rainbow. How do you do that? Because the wicked is ruling. Job 9 and 24. All right, it's also a place of darkness because these people, they're basically zombies from their neck up. They don't know their own nationality. They don't know, that everyone on earth has a biblical nationality, that America is actually in the Bible. These people are in complete darkness, and that's why we're out here, through the spirit of power of Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, he gave us that unction. He gave us, you know, the unction that you know all things. Okay, he gave us that light. He said, let your light show sign before men. So we're out here shining our light, which is that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shema Shai.
And it said, without any order. That's showing that it is Babylon. Because that goes into great confusion. Like this is the land of great confusion. This is the valley of the shadow of death. America.
Right. Hey, you fill in the blanks. Well, you know, this place don't got no order. It don't got no family structure. Okay. Women that they could work with men. You know, women could work with men. You know, a little girl could say I want to be a boy. A little boy could say I want to be a girl. I already mentioned the rainbow thing. It's out of order, man. Okay, we're not eating how we're supposed to eat. Okay, you know, when you look at those old pictures of Gadites, you know, you see that facial structure they used to have. That's because they used to eat a certain type of way. We're not eating like we used to. You know, and we might have to go over there. Yeah, we might have to go over there.
Damn. We're gonna pick up and take it across the street real quick.
Underneath the awning.